You're listening to Jim and James Chew the Cud.
When was the last time you saw a Chevrolet in Tokyo?
I have no idea what they're talking about.
Robbing biological urges.
You're crazy, son. I'm sorry, Dave. I'm afraid I can't do that.
You're listening to Jim and James.
Welcome to episode 212.
What a number.
Of Jim and James Chew the Cud. Listeners will probably be tuning in to see if I've actually put out that second part of the first episode of Leon. We haven't. We're not going to do that because...
we both were editing at the same time and it was impossible.
Some of the things that Leon said don't reflect the values of the podcast.
No.
I don't think they
Or of humanity.
That's very true.
It was shocking.
And I'd just like to say sorry and thank you for the understanding to NCAP, Save the Children, Make-A-Wish Foundation, Direct Relief, Against Malaria Foundation, Macmillan Cancer Support, and Bernardo's Children Welfare, among many, many others, for insensitive comments
You
made.
may have to do like a 20-minute kind of apology video, but of those 90 minutes is listing off the people who be hurt and abused, and not like in a Jimmy Savile
with his words,
with his words, and not his actions.
Not in a Jimmy Savile way.
No.
Importantly,
No.
No children were physically hurt by it, but he has pushed a stigma. He's appropriated stereotypes in that podcast that we don't stand by. So, sorry for that.
Yeah, we are. I mean,
but at least he isn't Jimmy Savile.
No.
You've seen Steve Coogan's playing him in the upcoming BBC drama.
I've seen that. There was a lot of uproar about how dare they kind of glamorise.
Yeah, it's not the worst thing they did, though, is it?
No, they let it happen in the first place.
I think it's one of those cases where you don't want to meet your heroes.
No, I mean I once I didn't meet him, but I was in Blackpool on holiday with my
For a second, my heart skipped, and I thought you were going to say blackface.
No, I was in Blackpool.
Different time.
And there was like a little fun run going on. He was running along, and we were like,
Jimmy Savile.
Yeah, we were like waving and shouting at him.
Yeah, what were you waving?
Like he was like behind a barrier, like running. It was like a road and a big kind of like fence. Like it's like you get at building sites with like a red sort of kind of mesh sort of thing. That was like protecting him, which I assumed either from paparazzi or from people, like children bothering him, or from maybe cars and motorists. But it turns out it was probably more to keep him away from the children who were there shouting his name out.
Yeah, maybe the amount of power he has, it was the other way around, and it was like free-range children.
Yeah,
but I think it's quite an interesting thing. Like Jurassic Park, where they have they bring back dinosaurs. I think to make that, it'd be better if rather than dinosaurs, you maybe have like serial killers and I don't know what the real correct term would be, but like nonces. Because in Jurassic Park, you've got like the children get lost, and that's bad because the dinosaurs are out. But not all the dinosaurs are going to eat them. Some of them are like the Diplodocus might if the kid's in a wheelchair because it's a herbivore, but there's not an inherent 100% danger there.
But a Triceratops could have like sex toys for horns instead.
Well, you want to sectionalise the dinosaurs?
No, but it could be like the nonces could be being pleasured by dinosaurs.
There's dinosaurs and nonces.
Actually, I don't know.
I think I'm okay with that because I think you're going to have people that want to see dinosaurs, and you're going to have people that want to see nonces, and you're going to have people that want to see dinosaurs
eating nonces.
Well, or dildoing them for their horns, based on what you were saying.
Yeah,
I think maybe we could pitch that to.
The Triceratops is famously the most horny of dinosaurs.
That's true.
And as a kid, I assume it was because it was the three horns, but not.
Because it just loved.
It's just very sexually eager.
But I'd imagine it was sexually eager to female Triceratops rather than say like
anything.
Barry Bennell, the the coach from the FA. So you'd have to dress him up as a
velociraptor.
As a velociraptor, and you could feed them. Like in the first one where the goat comes in, and they lower it down.
Crane and
you could lower like a child down into the thing.
Not
all the way, just a little bit.
What, teasing?
Yeah. Keep them not hiding in the bushes, And also the kids would pay, parents would pay £50 to have their kid lowered down towards
It
like
probably
monsters.
would. It'd be like some sort of like you do it for likes and
Yeah, 100%.
bit of clout.
I went to Jurassic and Nonceland, and all I got was this traumatic event happen.
Yeah. I mean, I think we need to think about this a lot. Not a lot. We need to try and, because it's like there's a lot of flaws.
Oh
and
yeah,
holes.
I mean this is.
Imagine if say that kid on a crane, and the crane gets jammed, and the noise gets a bit too close.
But this is why you have like release forms. I'm not saying they just walk up and get onto the bungee rope and drop in.
I mean, is it like,
they have to sign stuff.
Is it like the claws
just to
you get
enter
in fairgrounds? We know, the claw machine in reverse.
Yeah,
so instead of like you pluck the prize out, there's some sort of nonce getting rewarded with actually, this is terrible.
No, I think to be fair, they could have a thing where if they're well behaved, they can pick one like a lobster from the swimming pool. I'll have that one, please. But I don't think it's. I think it does need work. I think.
Have you ever
the paperwork
gone to
alone?
Like a pet shop and like you've seen like a cage full of rabbits and thought I'm going to free those, so you buy them and free them.
Is that what you're thinking about doing?
Well, no, because people often do it with lobsters and stuff. But then they'll drop them off into a lake rather than into the ocean or whatever. So basically they die, or people dropping a crab off a bridge.
Yeah, or putting
just smashing on the rocks,
freeing a load of puppies and putting them in the river.
So let's let them loose just outside Pets R Us and.
So one of my ex-girlfriends, her, when you start. She was comfortable enough to start telling me her deepest, darkest secrets, which I won't obviously disclose on the podcast.
That's good.
But I will say that her mum's boyfriend drowned a bag of puppies in front of her.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. I think that's just
What sort of puppies were they?
Little ones.
Were they like band dog?
No. Nice dogs. Not ones that you want.
Well, no, I don't anymore.
Oh, you've changed your mind, have you?
Changed my mind. I was watching videos of protesters, and there's been three in particular I've been watching. There's been a hotel in Wales where immigrants are being housed, and the Welsh aren't very happy.
Never are.
Like Katie Hopkins turned up,
Oh.
so that's when you know you're on the wrong side.
Yeah.
But she turned up, but then they started like launching fireworks at the police. And then they started a fire there. So now it's been closed down because it's not safe. But I think they should put more in that little Welsh village to really annoy them. Then there's been the Blade Runners, the ULEZ camera people.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
I think we discussed this before.
We haven't discussed the Blade Runners. I think we may have touched on ULEZ.
But it's like there's a lot of... Like they were doing a big protest and they were like blocking a road as well to show how angry they are. But when people do it to ban petrol or ban oil, they're being punched and driven over, and that's fine. It's kind of like certain protests are now almost being made legal, like you're almost allowed to chop down the ULEZ cameras. But my main one was seeing the people protesting to save their bullies. If they were protesting in a nice, calm, measured way, I'd be fine with that. But it was men in gold chains, kind of vests.
Who do you think owned those dogs other than those people?
Well, I mean, I was actually playing with a bully last night.
Right.
I was walking home from work. I met my dog walking friend.
Yeah.
And he met.
That's not as weird as it sounds either.
And then there were 4 dogs. There was like a greyhound cross pit, which was actually called Hooch.
Right.
There was an Alsatian called Xena.
Mm-hmm.
There was some little bully dog.
Yeah.
It was actually really sweet.
But it's the XL ones at the problem.
It was a bully XL, and then there was another one, little kind of like Jack Russell thing.
Sounds like it was a bully XS.
He was 14 years old, so he just laid there.
Right.
And let the dog sniff it. And I was just, playing all of them, stroking them all. And I'm getting jealous. I stroked the other one, and I'm like, oh, at me. It was really fun.
Yeah.
And they were nice, good owners, but most of the owners are just scumbags. They were shouting a lot, making a lot of noise. They were, the placards I had were very, very, like, verbally aggressive. A lot of swearing. Words like fuck off,
Oh.
fuck.
We need to put trigger warnings on this in case
sorry.
Chud Griffin is
There were
listening.
a lot of like. It wasn't like shit or piss, you know, or bloody.
They're
like
fine.
Calm
They're
swear
fine.
words, but it was, you know, like a lot of hard Fs.
Yeah.
And there was
Faggot.
a lot of shouting, and it was like it wasn't necessary. If they were like calm and said, you know, our dogs are nice, you know, blah
Yeah.
blah, provide some evidence, I'll be fine with it. But the way they were shouting,
Yeah.
I say put them down as well.
Put them down as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it might actually be better if you put down the owners and the dogs at the same time. They'll go to like some sort of
That's a
heaven
real
somewhere.
volte face from your position
Yeah,
previously.
it's changed a lot. It's kind of,
Yeah, because you were very much the
hun-
only deaths you wanted were those of children.
I didn't want someone to die, but now I kind of.
No, but it was a risk you were willing to
but
take.
still, this isn't for the children.
No,
This is more just because
this is because they annoyed you. But
Yeah.
this will upset the man that you met in the park that you walk the dog with.
Well, no, he hasn't got a Bully XL.
You said he had a Bully
Well,
XL.
one of them has, but I'll let him off.
What do you mean one of them has?
One of them has. One of them's got.
How
a
many
Bully
men
XL.
do you meet in the park to walk
There are a
dogs with?
few. I've met a few Bully XLs.
No, what?
Um,
How many men do you meet in the park to walk their dogs
There's
with?
one main person,
Right.
and he knows other people as well. So
Yeah.
there was a woman
Right.
dog walker, and there's also like a.
Because I'm
man-
not.
a
I've
man
not
dog
heard
walker.
this. You've hinted at this
I have. No,
Second Life that you have.
this.
That does sound more like a swingers party.
Yesterday, it kind of evolved into like some sort of dog party,
Right.
and like we were throwing balls at them,
Yeah.
sticks. It was a good time. And then another dog came over with a squeaky ball,
Yeah.
and then it got scared and ran away, but left the ball behind. So Hooch was playing with that, and it was constantly just. Wah, 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 wah. And then the owner came
It was a
back
duck.
and said, "Have you got? Oh, is this your ball? Oh, yes, it is. Please have it back. It's really annoying." So they tossed the ball at her, and the dog kind of started chewing it again. It was a good, fun time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is it not weird that you're the only one there without a dog?
Yeah.
It'd be like going to
a.
a football game. Which kid's yours? Oh, I'm just here to watch them play. Are you going to get a dog?
No. I mean, when I was younger, I had a border collie, which was called Panda,
Right.
and she was lovely. I used to dance with her.
That's nice.
Stand on her back legs, hold her paws, and just dance around the kitchen to music. Everyone's done that.
No, that's because my dog. I had a Basset. So it was a low dog,
Yeah, and you're a giant.
but I not as a child. But how old were you when you would
8 or
walks around your kitchen with your dog?
Probably 8 or 9.
What sort of song was it?
I don't know.
Did you look into the dog's
They
eyes?
don't even have been songs. It was like,
Just on your own?
Because then you would have had to have a radio.
I can
and tape
imagine like your
machine.
mum walking into the kitchen and seeing
It's
you.
not what it looks like.
No, just slowly backing away and closing the door as you're dancing with. What breed of dog was it?
A border collie.
Is that like Lassie?
No. Like a sheepdog.
Oh, okay, that's
Black and
not-
white
oh,
sheepdog
okay,
sort of
yeah,
thing.
yeah, okay. I think that's not that weird. But I mean, that's. I mean, if you own dogs, let us know what your thoughts are on James's conversion from pro dog to now anti dog,
Not all dogs, just some breeder or owners.
and okay, some of the breeds of owners.
Or maybe if the owner has got like a gold chain,
Yeah,
a vest, baseball bat, BMW.
yeah.
Then
Are you going to be the one that goes and tells them?
No. We'll employ like dog people to do that.
Speaking of dog people, actually, Chud Griffin, who owns several dogs, I think it's 7.5, 3/4. He's written in to congratulate us on our recent branching out across the world. So listeners will know we added a few new countries to our tick-off list. He's pointed out that he has a global audience but can't actually broadcast in China. So perhaps the Chew should move away from if you're Dutch, get in touch, to if you're from China, drop us a liner.
Yeah.
So I think we're gonna. That is the the podcast needs to be taken seriously now. It's a
If you're from China and you're an adult, show your vagina.
yeah. That
Be like the late night one.
yeah. I don't.
That was
want
Leon's
to-
suggestion. He held a little board up.
Leon
saying
is not allowed near this podcast after
But
all
he's
those
still in the
things.
corner. He's sitting there.
Well, that's because of the chains. I've lost the key.
But he held a little board up with his chalkboard.
Yeah. So yeah, you got two options if you're Chinese. You've got if you're from China, drop us a liner, or if you're from China and you're an adult, show us your vagina. So I'm hopeful we'll be able to break into China pretty quickly then with those two options on the table.
Yeah,
that appeals to
Bull in the China shop, and we employ Steve Bull, a famous footballer.
That's exactly who I was going for as well. Yeah,
go shopping.
Yeah, Steve Bull of Wolves fame.
Yeah,
a lot of features then. Two at least that aren't, because I did think, obviously, when I was there trying to rhyme a word with China, I was North Carolina.
Oh, Carolina.
Calvin Klein kinda. Kevin Kleiner. Recliner.
If you're in Hong Kong, show us your bong.
Yeah.
But again, probably best not to, because, police are quite
hot on drug use.
Yeah.
I don't think we I think we should just go straight into China rather than wade around the muddy waters of Hong Kong's sovereignty, because there's going to be big money there.
I mean, Leon's now asking if you're from Hong Kong, show us your dong.
Yeah.
But I think he's going to think about it's the currency.
Spray him with the water bottle.
Is it a Thai currency of a dong?
I don't know. You've been to Thailand, haven't you?
Yeah, but that was on some sort of deep sea fishing.
Oh
thing.
yeah, that's true.
Didn't really go
you
to
wouldn't.
the shops.
You pay for advance. You pay.
Yeah,
in advance
I had
for all
a
those
credit
things.
card as a child.
Is it? Yeah, because China's the yen, isn't it? Dora. I think the Dora is accepted across Asia.
Man, try to go there again.
I don't think that's uncouth, but the Chinese are very proud of. They're very militaristic. They have, broad statements of power, lifting people up, an anthem. Maybe we could lean in towards it, because I think we should go. We are going political, running for office in the near future.
Funny you mentioned that.
Yeah.
I think to bring up. I've been watching the Tory Party conference.
Why?
I wanted to hate myself. I wanted to.
Because it does seem that you watch just.
I want to. I mean, I've been too happy.
Yeah.
So I wanted to kind of feel, kind of sad again.
Yeah, a lot of people have said that.
So I watched that, and there's some odd speeches. There's some odd problematic things happening.
Yeah.
But my main take was her doing her stand up and fight speech.
Who?
Penny Moore, is it?
Penny Mordaunt.
Penny
Okay.
Morgan.
Yeah.
Said stand up and fight 12 times.
She said we have to fight.
Going to stand up and fight 12 times.
Yeah.
About various kind of things, but for actually no reason whatsoever.
Stand up and fight, because when you stand up and fight, the person beside you stands up and fights. And when our party stands up and fights, the nation stands up and fights. And when our nation stands up and fights, other nations stand up and fight. And they stand up and fight for the things upon which the entire progress of humanity depends. Freedom. That is what conservatives do. That is what this nation does. Have courage. Bring hope. Stand up and fight. Stand up and fight. Thank you, conference.
So I wanted to add reason to it. So stand up and podcast for freedoms we have earned. Against networks, whether made of velvet or last. Have courage and conviction, because when you do, you move. Our podcasters, our listeners, and capital of all kinds will come to our cause. Stand up and podcast, because when you stand up and podcast, the person beside you will stand up and podcast. And when our podcast stands up and podcasts, the nation stands up and podcasts. When our nation stands up and podcasts, other nations or other podcasters will stand up and podcast. And when they stand up and podcast for things that which the entire progress of humanity depends, podcasting is what Jim and James do.
So that's going to be our mission statement.
Have courage, bring hope, stand up and podcast.
I like that.
One more.
Oh, there's more.
Stand up and podcast. That was it. That was 12 stand-ups.
It's less our podcast specific than I thought. But no, I'm a big fan of Penny Mordaunt. Penny Mordaunt. Anyway, I like the way she carried that big sword in the Queen's King's ceremony, Queen's funeral. I don't know. It's all the same to me.
Big party.
Something.
Yeah.
Saw a headline. It was about a runner accused of cheating in a half marathon. I was reading. I think it'd been quite interesting because last year there was a woman who they turned out taking a taxi. He took a shortcut just to finish 21st. I don't understand why you would cheat in a race to finish 21st.
No, you're going to do it properly. You know, you want to.
But then I was thinking that maybe he's been telling his wife that he's out training for a half marathon, and he's not. He's off having intercourse with his neighbour Debbie because she's got big sloppy tits. The US government sent out, you may have seen it, they send out the emergency alerts. We had one recently where everyone's phones went off at the same time.
Yeah, I was in the cinema when it happened.
Yeah, but your phone would be off, right?
Yeah, my phone was off,
Yeah. Tell you where the phones weren't off recently and it's caused discomfort, and our brother in Christ, Leon, would know something about this.
Oh.
The Amish community.
Oh, really?
Yeah, a load of them were found having secret mobile phones on there.
Oh, man.
Which I think is fun. And then I was reading that in Japan there's a cafe that uses robots to serve people that are operated by paralysed people. So they can still earn yen. I think it is yen.
Yeah.
Which is excellent.
That's a good thing to do.
But imagine being paralysed from the neck down, because they literally use their eyes to like move things around, and still having to work for a living.
Yeah.
I would be furious if I was in some horrific accident and then they were like,
it'd be good for doing voiceovers.
your shift starts. Sorry?
Good for doing voiceovers.
I don't think they can speak.
No, they won't.
Can they? Like, they're sort of like...
It's Freshers Week now for lots of students.
Yeah.
Maybe their first time probably having access to a regular pub without their parents kind of being around.
And drugs and sex.
Have you got any tips for a person's first visit to a pub? What would your top tip be?
Make sure you pick up the right vernacular. Like, you don't go in and ask for a pint of bitter, please. You go in and ask for some beer.
Yeah.
But it depends on where in the country you are.
And it's always make sure you need to waive if you want to get served at a bar. If you waive your card or your cash at the bar staff, they like that, so they know basically whether to bring a card reader over, or if you're paying cash.
Always order your Guinness last.
Yeah.
And
then ask, which I have actually seen. Someone ordered a pint of Foster's and a pint of Guinness, and then asked the barmaid which one was which.
That's mental.
It is crazy.
Try to avoid getting stabbed. I don't know. I don't really frequent pubs.
No, but
I'm more of a coffee shop kind of guy now.
Well, I mean, we're at coffee shops, but how would you recommend people act in coffee shops?
You say, like, can I have a latte, you you know?
Especially if you're like a foreign student, you is a friendly term for you friendly person.
Yeah, it's like, thank you, you've helped me out.
Yeah. I mean, it's generally...
Give me a latte, you
against like, towards females.
Yeah.
With men, you just give them the coffee kind of hand signal, which is when you form your to like a loose grip.
Yeah.
Then just wave it from left to right.
Yeah.
And again, it also shows that you're going to tip them.
Yeah. And obviously, if you can't say that you're going to tip them, just wave. If you have a penis, get it out, wave it around. And that works in pubs, clubs.
Because that also shows you're not being sexually aggressive.
Yeah.
If you get out and wave it around, it makes people feel more at ease. Yeah.
Less threatening when they see it.
That's our top tips for being served in an environment where any drinks are being served, really.
More on that in the future. Feature called "Are You Being Served?" How to get a bar person's attention. Bring a gun in. Do you have a child? Use them as a hostage. I was thinking about how we're going to be running. We got the election. I think I was talking to Leon off air, obviously now because of the whole racism.
44-hour delay we have to have on him.
Yeah. and he was asking when the next general election was. And I think it's 2025. So we've got a good run up to that.
Yeah.
So I had a couple policies. I don't know if you had any.
Oh yeah, I've got.
But I'm afraid one of my policies, I would like to instigate online betting for real crimes, so that you go onto a website, any crime that's reported is logged. You can put a bet on who you think done it, and there's a tax on your winnings, and that way you can possibly also make money off helping people out if you know who did stuff. But I could log on and see that there's been a barn burnt down and a race crime. I can put Leon Baker, and they'll give me odds of like 2 to 1. It's not great.
Yeah.
Not great. But that's where I think that would be an efficient way.
That would be a good way of. Also, it would pay for a police force.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
It incentivizes the police force to catch these people.
You could bet on yourself as well, almost. You could do a crime and frame. Like I could frame you.
Yeah.
As in, you're a very innocent man.
Yeah.
And I would like frame you, and I'd put on big money.
Yeah. So crime you've done.
Yeah.
Frame me for it. You're logging online. You see there's been a sexual assault in the area. You put that it's me that did it because you framed me to do it.
Yeah.
You make money off that.
I've been farming.
Yeah, it was because that guy was asking me how to get a coffee bean.
It everywhere. Got in a little bag.
I just think it would be a useful way.
Like icing.
Oh. Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be good to like pay for lots of things. I mean, mine is very similar.
Okay.
It's you bet on people who are going to put a bet on. So I think Jim's going to put a bet on.
On what? On anything. On anything.
And then if you put a bet on,
so it's just sort of gambling on who's a gambler.
Half of your money. Again, it's not the best of laws.
I would imagine though that the person that has is most likely to gamble. It could work. I mean, I think it's putting a hat on a hat.
And actually, no. My actual law, I would not allow any celebrities to have social media accounts. Instead, a child runs it for them.
Right.
And just writes about kind of their day at school.
Yeah.
Cats.
So your law brings in child employment.
We wouldn't pay them.
Okay. Child slavery.
Well, it's not slavery. It's fun.
No one said slavery didn't have to be fun.
It'd be like a diary.
You'd be singing
so
Brave
they would
Rocks.
some sort of work experience.
Yeah.
Maybe. Yeah. Actually, yeah. Every child will spend 3 weeks in a year being like, say, Flip Schofield's. Actually, no, it's
cellmate,
theory, isn't it? No, I was to say you can have like.
I think there's the baby's in the bathwater there. It's just not giving the children to paedophile celebrities. That's the thing you need to work on.
Yeah.
There are lots of celebrities that aren't.
Holly Willoughby.
Not the worst job in the world, I'd imagine, to be a 6-year-old.
No.
I'd like to say that if anyone has ever legitimately suggested national service, whilst being too old to do national service, should be made to do that job.
Some people who kind of say all about the war, as if like the Blitz spirit. I'm sure wasn't a fun time.
No.
So actually, I watched a film today.
Yeah.
Called The Great Escaper.
Right.
And it was
that's Steve McQueen.
No, I mean that's The Great Escape.
Okay.
Idiot.
I'm sorry. I'm just.
It's Michael Caine, the actor, not the chef.
Okay.
If you're from Exeter, there's often not confusion between Michael Caine and Michael Caine's. But Michael Caine, the actor, he plays a 90-year-old man who, I say escapes from other people's home. He just walks out one morning and gets a ferry to France.
Right.
And then basically meets some other people, get a bit drunk, meets some Germans, eats a croissant.
Eats a what?
A croissant.
Okay.
But it's based on a true story.
Yeah.
But
ferries go to France all the time.
It shows him World War II flashbacks.
Right.
And it's about PTSD. Because people think of World War II as like a fun war.
Yeah, they do.
Gunners went there and shot some Jerry.
Nazis were slapstick.
But it's all kind of good fun. But then it's a lot about PTSD. Can you imagine? Well, your grandparents wouldn't have talked about it. They just took it to their grave.
What didn't they enjoy in the Second World War?
I think having a friend's blown apart, that sort of thing. The killing.
I've not ever seen
Like one of
I've seen Dad's Army.
Like one of them, he's a man who was he worked I was in the Air Force. And he dropped bombs on Dresden.
Right.
He was like, I kind of killed thousands of people.
Yeah.
But it's from a great height. But I think war seems to be more fun.
You want it more more fun.
So make him look not like propaganda, because that's you could say what this is, but encourage people to go to war to get that blitz spirit back.
Well, I think that's not actually a bad shout.
No.
I think that kind of ties into another thing that I want to suggest, is that we bring back Nazis.
Right.
Because I was watching a documentary on Nazi hunters, and that seemed like a really cool job. And just unfortunately, there's not many, and I know there are Nazis. I know there are, people that are fascistic.
There's quite a lot in Manchester last week. Last week, at a big meeting.
But I want the Nazis that did stuff.
So not the ones who basically cancelled the train to Manchester.
No, I want the ones that sewed twins together. I just want to ask what it's like. But do you know what I mean? It's a shame that there's a cool job that no longer exists.
Like a whaler. When I was
you
younger,
still get whalers. They're just Japanese.
When I was
now, aren't
younger,
they?
I had a book, and it was all like history. It was all like drawings, and the first page was about a whaling ship.
Yeah.
And it looked amazing.
What history book did you read that opened with
I don't know.
the history of whaling?
It's like those, who said before about those things you thought would have a much bigger part in your life.
Yeah.
Me was crossbows and
Bermuda Triangle. I assume that would be
every day.
There would be we still haven't worked out what's going on over there. I think that's a really good point.
The Amazon, we're going to be up and down it all the time.
It's interesting because I was about to say the Egyptians. I always thought there'd be a lot of mummy related stuff, and actually online there is a lot of mummy related stuff.
That's mainly porn.
Yeah, but I would say the Roman Empire. I mean, I don't want to jump on that trend.
Yeah, bandwagon.
But I do that.
Yeah.
I mean, what else was really going to be that important? But I do tell I miss from when I was younger. Plates that they have them in prison still, but plates that have delineated sections.
Yeah.
Of this is your main.
Yeah.
This is your drink and this is your dessert.
So that's why when I was a child, I could have chips and custard.
Yeah.
Because we would have the main course with chips, and then the pudding,
eels,
custard, and sponge cake.
Oh, nice.
I just dip the chips in the custard, and it was great. But then I was thinking,
really?
No, it is. But then I was
no. Do you really do? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
But then I was watching a very famous YouTuber man who rates takeaways.
Okay.
Doesn't rate his own. He rates it's called rate my takeaway, but it's not his takeaway. It's
a
bit confusing. But he said he dips his chips into custard, and I felt heard. I felt validated and special again. So
I'm glad you. I mean, I was at Sainsbury's the other day with Chud, and he bought a cake, the little silver foil thing, about that big, a little cake thing.
For people who can't see the webcam, this cake was 4 foot wide.
Just a little one, a little tart, and it was lemon and olive oil.
Ooh.
Yeah, and I said to Chud, I was like, that's weird, but he's kind of, not that we're working class. We're upper working class, I guess. Chud, at one point, he's very posh.
Who's not a YouTuber.
Who's not a YouTuber.
His most income comes from YouTube.
But he once worked at Killerton House as part of a living museum. I didn't know about this. I only found this out a while ago. I was looking through, I was trying to find photos of his face to use on a meme. And he's having a picnic in Edwardian clothing. But that probably explains why he doesn't like the swearing when we say fuck, shit and cunt and stuff. Is because of those things. But no, I just think delineated plates would make life a lot easier.
Yeah.
That or maybe a hate crime amnesty. Or, how everyone's worried about their sexual deviancy past coming out now, where it's 15 years ago I was molested, and I had no idea that Russell Brand was like that. I think there should be a time in 1 month next year where you can come forward and go, to an extent, come forward and go, I grabbed someone's bottom 4 years ago, and I've been racked with guilt ever since it. And I think we'll be just a little bit happier, like you, in your happy place.
It's honking used to be a thing you could do to reward people. And people would reward a woman for doing a good job by giving her a little honk of her breasts.
Right.
And then,
really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Or like a pat on the bum.
Yeah, pat on the bum I can not understand, but a honk on the breast.
At the time, that was acceptable.
Cheers for that.
And it really shouldn't have been. But yeah, I mean, it's like it's such a bad crime. But maybe they can say I honked 12 people.
Yeah.
For a period of 15 years.
What are you, a goose?
Quite bad. No, I was just a bank manager.
I think there's a limit, but you know, if you come forward and go like I did 12 rapes.
Yeah.
No, thank you. You have to go to prison.
Yeah. So you're gonna do like a list of crimes, like sex crimes that you can commit or could commit.
I don't think that's for me to say. I think that is for
get Leon to do that.
Women. I think women to say. Leon won't be able to say it without offending women. But no, I just think there's a couple of bits and pieces that you could do there. I just wanted my friend Scott, who asked for a fake name for this podcast because he has his full name is in his business, Scott Atkins Fitness. So I didn't want to say that. So
fitness, what fitness means? Fitting up your ass.
yeah. He's I'm using the name Kirk Manstrong for him. He's about to have his partner's about to have her first baby. And they went to get a scan at the scan place, not at the hospital, at one of those places you pay money. Because the photo of the insides you get.
Yeah, so a 3D scan.
Yeah, they can get a better photo of the insides of her, and that's So Kirk Manstrong went along to this. He was already annoyed because he paid 150 quid for it. He doesn't see the point in that.
No,
he doesn't. But they stand on South Street, and he called me up afterwards to tell me that they had the person doing the scan who oiled up his partner because they're living in sin. Is a black dude,
right?
And this is genuine to him. One of them said that he said to Kirkette that you better see his hair, and then he said Kirk Manstrong. I said we'll see what colour he is. And Kirk Manstrong turned to Sophie Kirkette and said, "Well, I assume he's white." And then looked at the man doing the scan, and obviously the man who did the scan took it as he thought that Kirkette might have been
unfaithful.
Yeah, and he's like, "Does that make me a bad person? I made that joke." And I said, "It doesn't. It just means you're kind of stupid for saying that in front of a black person. You know, say it behind closed doors." Although when my great uncle, who is now turns out he's dead.
Oh.
I can't remember if I did this update. I thought he died about 10 years ago. It turns out he died 2 years ago. But I remember visiting him in the hospital, and he had a black doctor, and he said to him, "Oh, they let you out of the trees to practice medicine."
Saying this, yeah.
And it was just ridiculous. He had a gay nurse, and he said to him that, "Does he think he's a woman?" And I remember thinking the brass neck on him, because they could kill you, not the black person or the gay person,
but like the doctor kind of
they control,
take some medicine away, but give him a bit too much medicine.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, like give maids and that. Like it's easily done, but it turns out he's dead.
It's all got that as well.
Yeah, as we do a quick question that we were given just to they've asked if they're the arsehole for telling a disabled joke to a disabled person. So someone said, "For context, I have intrusive thoughts that cannot go away. Also, I have a few family members with genuine disabilities. I'm used to telling jokes with the understanding that everyone will see it as just a thought and not some deep harboured sentiment that I have about someone. To me, jokes are just for the sake of breaking the norm. So I was being introduced to one of my friends who had a pretty bad motorcycle accident and had lost his right leg from the knee down and his left arm at the elbow. We shared an interest in tuning motors. I work on electric, he on combustion. So we were interested to see what we could do together. He's now refusing to talk to me because my first comment was, "I see you were riding that new BMW S1000. He replied, "No, I was on a Suzuki. I don't think BMW made the S1000 when I was riding. Why do you think that?" And I said, "Oh, because I heard they cost an arm and a leg." My friend almost died laughing. I was trying to break the ice, but now this guy won't speak to either of us. He left the pub and didn't come back. He's mad at my friend for laughing at the joke and mad at me for making the joke. We literally joke all together all the time. I figured this guy was one of us. Am I the arsehole?
I'd say no.
Really?
Yeah.
Why that?
Freedom of speech.
Yeah.
It's a great man, Lawrence Fox, once. Actually, no. No, I mean, I think people, to make jokes.
Yeah.
It may have misread the room a little bit, but surely a person who's lost an arm and a leg.
Yeah.
It's pretty hard to joke million times before.
Yeah.
And should have a better sense of humour.
Sort of lean on that experience of.
Yeah.
You got no. Thanks. I mean, yeah. I think he is obviously. Yeah. So, but you want to say not guilty on that? Yeah. We can just do this as a feature in the future.
Yeah.
You can be the judge and you decide if someone is guilty or not.
I can have like
get a little gavel.
Gavel. I was gonna say gavel, but yeah, gavel.
Get your little gavel for next week. Little wig. Innocent.
Yeah.
I like that. Normally, I think they say it then hit the gavel, but you're just
not guilty.
Nice. Okay, is there anything else you wanna do? Oh, we'll wrap that there then. This has been episode 212.
What a number
of Jim and James Chew the Cud, available on all good platforms and some less reputable ones.
Yeah,
we have turned up in some rather weird places.
Hello,
from all over the world. But that's it for us. This has been episode 212.
Before we go, we need to thank our latest listener, who's called Smirnoff Boy 45. Who I believe is actually in the Ukraine.
Okay.
So yeah.
Did you found us through TikTok?
No. He just found us through a war crime documentary.
Fantastic.
Our old Spotify.
Can you start using Chinese hashtags? Because I would like us to get into China before Chud Griffin does.
Yeah, I'll do that.
Excellent.
I can just hashtag all his stuff, like hashtag dog video. Hashtag dog in mouth.
Yeah. Anyway, that's it finally for episode 212.
What a number.
Of Jim and James Chew the Cud.
A podcast.
Thank you. Please do like, share and
review.
Yeah.
And if you don't like it, just share it. Tell a friend it's really good. You can lie to, we don't mind people who lie.
I think it's good. I think
it is good, but if you don't find it funny,
let's have some pride.
Your friend might.
Oh, that's if you're
humanly challenged.
Yeah, if you don't think it's that funny, you don't have to download it and force your wife to listen to it.
Thank you for listening for this whole episode.
Yeah,
to get to this point.
It's been excellent. All right, cheers.
Bye.
That was Jim and James Chew the Cud, a Curson Media production. Produced by Glenn Lopez. Music by Smartle Jennings.
I quite enjoyed it.